Hi again, everybody. Okay, in this video, I have a request video to give you the 5 teams I like, the 5 teams I dislike. I don't know if I've done this before, but it's where I'm at today. Coming up. All right. Sorry, folks. My God. I don't know how my glasses always get so damn fogged. These are really good ones. I'm really happy with these. I got these, something like 3 of them for $50, and I've had them forever. I'm really happy with these. And they have a Blu-ray protection, which is good for me because I got one bad eye. Okay, clip, here it comes. Shout out goes to Jeffrey G. Love the early bird. Thanks, Jeffrey. Not many did. But I had fun doing them. I did. It's going to be a great series. Yes, it was a great series. Even though it went only 6 games, it was still a good series. We seen Tampa Bay fight right to the end, I thought, even though they had no legs left at the end. Because, Wayne, we're all Sabres fans, but I'd like to hear what 5 NHL franchises you secretly root for during this era and why. We all have soft spots for certain teams, and to counter that, list your 5 NHL franchises that you absolutely do not like, do not want to see them win, and why. Well, all right, I made a list, and it was a little tough, and I'll tell you why, because, I might have a slash. I might have a tie with certain, okay? But there might be 6 and 6, Jeffrey, because I got to throw 6 and 6 in here. I do. I'm going to actually mark it right now. I am actually going to do 6, okay? Yeah, I'm going to do 6 and 6 because I just have to. There's one team I don't like, I got to add in there. And there's one team I like that I did not add in there. So, okay. Yeah, this works the way I got it right now, adding them both to 6. We're going to do 6 and 6. Okay, we'll start with the dislike. Number 6, the New York Rangers come in at number 6. I have to put the Rangers on this list. And the reasons why isn't so much that the Rangers are this majorly successful franchise that have won tons of Stanley Cups, because they're not. But they always try to buy a winner, and that drives me crazy. It does. And their fans just assume they're going to get the free agents all the time, and they're spoiled. And there's them and another team I got listed here that never win cups, but always get all the free agents. And it's not jealousy, it frustrates me. It angers me that a team just assumes they're going to get whoever they want, you know? Shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. You know, they always test, they always come up with new things, like in the draft lottery, okay? We can only win it twice in a 5-year span now. What they should do, they should try and do something like that with free agents always going to the big market teams. I don't know what they could do, but it really would make the league a little more fair, I think. But the Rangers, I got to put there because their fans always assume every year that they are going to be a powerhouse, and they were this year, so I'll give them credit. But I will say this about the Rangers, I don't want to drag too much on this, is the Rangers, I stopped hating on them this year. I actually enjoyed watching them this year in the playoffs, I did. Okay, number 5, without a doubt, the Vegas Golden Knights. I can't stand this team. I just can't stand this team. I don't like their logo. I don't like their colors. You know, and it's funny because I didn't hate Vegas till they got Robin Lehner. Once they got Robin Lehner, I lost all respect for this franchise right away. And then they had the nerve to push Fleury out the door and keep that clown over there. My goodness. Robin Lehner absolutely is the reason I can't stand Vegas, not Jack Eichel, just so you know. Jack could have went over to Boston, and I would still have Vegas where I got them right now. So Vegas absolutely make the list. I loved them their first year in the league. I was rooting for them. And then I seen them do the New York Rangers thing, try to buy a winner. And once I see that in a team, I lose all respect. Although the Rangers did an internal build. Rangers aren't that team no more. I do want to put that out there before I forget. But Vegas are trying everything they can just to take a Stanley Cup from the league. It almost feels like a greedy thing. And this thing about how they're on ice, off ice antics are the best in the league. Shut up. You guys have been around 5 years or whatever it is. Come on. You know, like this thing about Vegas and oh, nobody does it like Vegas, the light show. Like, who cares? Truth is, Montreal's pregame show is just as good as Vegas, I think. All right, number 4. Without a doubt, the Ottawa Senators have to make this list, guys. I couldn't stand Ottawa in 05 and 06 and 06 and 07. I couldn't stand them back then. Couldn't stand them. I still don't like Ottawa. I find their fans think all their players are worth a mint. Just kind of like some teams like Anaheim thought, you know, with their teams, and the Rangers thought we would take take Strome, Ryan Strome. You know, we're not going to take second-hand players for you know, a good player. It wouldn't make sense. Ottawa too were the same way. They just thought that their fans, especially, think that all their players are worth a mint. You know. Ottawa's building their team good. I like what they're doing in Ottawa, though. I do. They're going with the youth, and they're doing it properly over there. I just don't think they have the right coach. It's just my feel. So number 4 comes Ottawa, because they're a division rival, and I can't stand them. I just can't stand them. Number 3, the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins are there. I think that's an easy call for all of us. Boston has to make this list. And no, not because of Brad Marchand, just because it's the Bruins. I've hated the Bruins like... The only time I liked the Bruins ever in my lifetime was when Bobby Orr played and Phil Esposito. That's it. I enjoyed that team back then with Ken Hodge and all those guys and Wayne Cashman. That Bruins team I liked back then. But this team, the last 30, 40 years, I just can't stand. So Boston have to make the list. Good franchise, though. Good franchise. One of the best in hockey, if not the best right now, at being a very steady, productive franchise. Very good. And number 2, most of you have this as your number 1, is the Toronto Maple Leafs. And guys, this used to be my favorite team when I was a kid. This was my favorite team as a kid growing up. Dave Keon was my hero. And then they screwed him over, and I started hating on the Leafs from that moment on. And I still had some allegiance to them, even though I was already a Sabres fan at the time. I got into the Sabres, and then once Dave Keon was gone from Toronto, any allegiance I still had to the Leafs was gone completely from that point on, never came back. And I've seen the Harold Ballard days, and I've seen all the good teams in the 90s, and them now screw up probably the best era in their history, screw it up by signing John Tavares. That $11 million is going to cost them a Stanley Cup when it's all said and done. Mark my words on it. I really believe that. They might have one more chance next year at a Stanley Cup. They could win the Cup next year. Coming. They could. But Toronto, I believe that Tavares signing was a bad signing. And that is what could cost them eventually a Stanley Cup, because that $11 million is going to go to an over-the-hill guy who just doesn't have it anymore, who's just wearing the C. And that just the way I see it. And number 1 on my hate list, guys, of course, is the Montreal Canadiens. Come on. It goes without saying. The Habs are absolutely number 1. I never got over their dynasty, Jeffrey. This was the thing. Their dynasty in the 70s scarred me forever. So I dreamed of them not winning a cup eventually. That's how bad it was, that 4 years of my life. And the whole 70s, really, growing up in Montreal. And you know what? If I had any hate for Montreal, I thought that was gone. I recaptured it again last year when they made the finals, because this whole entire city was so egotistical about the Habs. It was out of this world. And here's a generation of fans that are talking like Nick Suzuki's the second coming of Wayne Gretzky. I'm like, oh my goodness. But Montreal, absolutely, because of all their success. Most successful franchise in the league, bar none, really, historically. All right, my likes. Coming in number 6, the St. Louis Blues. I grew up in a house where my mom, that was always her second favorite team for a long, long time. My mom always cheered on the Blues. Of course, she was a Habs fan, but she always cheered on the Blues, and it kind of rubbed off on me. And I always loved their logo. I still love the St. Louis Blues logo and colors, and So over the years, the Blues, I always kind of cheered for. And I was really, really excited to see them win that Stanley Cup a few years back. Number 5, the Washington Capitals. Why? Absolutely because of the 1974-75 season, without a doubt. The 74-75 Capitals will always be the worst team that will ever exist in the history of this league. We will never see a team that bad again, ever, ever. If you don't believe me, go check all their scores of their first year in the NHL and your eyes will pop out of your head. How many times they got hammered? 8-2, 7-1, 6-0, 11-1, 10-2, like just unbelievable. And I got to watch them go from this crap, awful team, to a Stanley Cup before us. But if there's any team that came in the league after us that I can live with, that won a Stanley Cup, it's the Washington Capitals, because they earned it. Their fans suffered, just like Sabres fans, a lot of suffering. And now it's kind of, well, no, not, I would say current, but number 4 is because of lack of success, is the Florida Panthers. I got Florida coming in at number 4. I want to see Florida do something in this era. They might not get this chance again, so I want to see Florida do something. Would have been nice if they could have went deeper this year. I like Florida. And you know what? Their new logo's kind of rubbed off on me already. It really has. I didn't think it would, but it has. But Florida, because of the lack of success. Really, that's the main thing. Number 3, same reason again, the Arizona Coyotes. I want to see them do well. I want to see something happen. I would probably pull for Arizona and Florida over all these teams in a series, but I got them listed a certain way for a reason. So Arizona, I got coming in next. Arizona, I would love to see something good happen there. Like, it's really hard what's going on for this franchise. Now they're going to be in an arena with 5,000-6,000 seats. No logo in the center ice, apparently. God, it's really sad, actually. But Arizona comes in next. So I'm pulling for them this year to surprise the league and do a little better. Number 2, the Edmonton Oilers. No, not because of Connor McDavid. I've been kind of following the Oilers throughout all their tank years, and of course, but mostly because of Wayne Gretzky in that era. And then I watched them go into this regular phase of a team. And when I see a team that was once upon a time a real great hockey franchise become that and not seem to have any kind of hope it's going to never stop, is why I was pulling for the Oilers. And to be honest, it's the only Canadian team I like in the entire league. I don't really hate the Canucks either. I just find that they're a lot like Ottawa, where they think all their players are worth all this stuff that they're not worth, So the Edmonton Oilers, for me, come in at number 2. And number 1 is the New York Islanders. I have seen the Islanders also since their inception in 72-73. And the Islanders, I seen them choke. It's because of the 70s, guys. Really, the New York Islanders, I cheer for them. The Islanders in the 70s had so many chokes before they won that Stanley Cup in 1980. And when Bob Nystrom scored the goal, I was really excited for them, really happy for them. I never knew it was the beginning of a 4-year dynasty. That I did not see coming. But I guess those are the reasons, really, why I like these other franchises, why I dislike some other ones. But you know what? I will say one thing about likes and dislikes. The teams outside our division, like Vegas and the Rangers, there's opportunity for me not to dislike them eventually. There is. Teams inside our division, I doubt I'll ever stop disliking them, really, because their fans all have taken shots at us and our team and our franchise while we're down and out. And they don't have anything to brag about. There's nothing to brag about in Ottawa. There's nothing. There's nothing to brag about. Boston, 1 cup since like 1973, right? So there's nothing there. 1 cup in like 50 years almost, right? So, but Boston continue to win. Over the decades, they continue to win. They continue to be a rough and tough team 50 years later. So that's one thing. They kept their identity. And Toronto try to buy a winner, like the Rangers, I find. But the Rangers less now. Less. I'll only say less. They're still trying. But Toronto, the big contracts I thought were stupid in Toronto. And now they're going to pay the price for that because they can only get so much now. And Montreal, because they scarred me in the 70s, guys. That's it. Okay. That's it, guys. Too long of a video, sorry, but you get me yakking about this stuff. I love it too much not to talk. So that's it. I'll see you guys in some video maybe later on tonight. I'll get these 2 up to you. And I will continue to jump on my notes and make the comeback as soon as I can. See you there.